Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are seeing my face for the first time, my name is Miss Soma and I'm a 50 medical student in Nigeria. And here on this channel, I make videos about medical school, lessons for medical school, and you can do it to subscribe because you're going to learn a lot from this channel. So in today's video, I'll be doing a story time. We're going to be following questions so that I won't digress. And when was the first time I scrubbed in for a surgery? First time I scrubbed in for a surgery I entered the theater for the first time in my life was during my 400 level. Yes, during my junior surgery posting. That was the first time. I think that was 2026. I think that was 2024. Yeah, beginning of 2025. So beginning of 2025. That was the first time I scrubbed in for a surgery. So how did I feel before entering the operating theater? Okay, my feelings were I was so excited. I was very, very happy. I was making a lot of Snapchat videos like my first time in theater. I was really, really excited. What was the first surgery I observed? Okay, for my junior surgery posting, I was in orthopedics. So the first surgery I witnessed was uh, operating, I think, a surgery on a fracture. Yes, that was the first surgery I witnessed. Fracture of the which bone was that? That was the leg bone, either the tibia or the fibula. But that was the first. It was a road traffic accident, so that was the first surgery I witnessed. Did I make any mistakes my first time in theater? I didn't really make any mistakes per se, but because when we entered the theater, we were trying to like, because it's a group, so we were trying to like go to one side or something. Then the people are like, "Don't go there. That's a sterile. That's a sterile area. Don't go there. That's a sterile area. Just stay around this side. Just stay around this side." And also, in the theater when they started or something, because of that I tried to stay away from the sterile area. And also because it's orthopedics, they use X-ray for their surgery. So when they want to shoot the X-ray, I didn't know we were supposed to go outside, but the good thing is that they knew it was our first time, so they were following up, telling us what to do. So before they shoot the X-rays, they'll tell us to leave the theater because of the effect of the X-ray. What surprised me the most about the theater? Okay, what surprised me the most about the operating theater? I don't think anything really surprised me the most about the theater. Or if I remember, I can still answer it. What was the atmosphere like amongst the surgeons? Okay, so for that surgery in orthopedics, the atmosphere was so good. Like they were gisting, laughing, talking, but yet they were actually serious with what they were doing. The chief surgeon was talking, gisting with her colleagues, the senior registrars, and even with us. They were also making some kind of jokes about us, or joking with us in a kind of way to make us feel as part of them doing that surgery. Who explained the scrubbing procedure for the first time to me? Okay, the person that explained the procedure, the everything about the surgery, everything about the theater, because it was our first, it was my first day. Okay, it was my second day, but my first day in theater. So he explained everything to us. He told us how the theater runs, how the hospital runs. He just told us everything about how the surgery is going to go and what is expected of us and everything. So it was the senior registrar, how they take their calls. I was hearing registrars, but I've already known residents, but it was actually the same thing. So he was the one that told us how the hierarchy, that we have the house officers first. Okay, we have the medical students first, the house officers, registrars, then the senior registrars, the consultants, and the professors. So he's the one that explained everything about the theater to us. He was a senior registrar as of that time, but now he's a consultant. Was standing in surgery harder than I expected? It was so hard. It was very, very, very hard. Like that's one thing I don't like about surgery. It's you stand for a very long time. Your legs, you're like, I think for that surgery lasted over 5 hours. Yes, it was a very long surgery, and the standing was so stressful. I can't even lie. Surgery is very stressful when it comes to their theater days. Like it's very stressful. What was the most fascinating part of this surgery? The most fascinating part of that surgery was the fact that the bones were broken, right? And then they were far from each other. Like it was like this, if I remember correctly, the bones were far from each other. So he taught us that if the bones were close, like close to each other like this, they just have to put a cast and then pull it this way. and then allow it to heal on its own, because the body is actually very has a way of healing itself. So they just have to put a cast and align it like this, and then it heals. But why they had to do the surgery is that the bone was up to this distance, like the distance was far. So when they opened up, they had to like push the bone and bring it to like align with this other one that was here. Then they now had to like push it again. It was not as easy. The pushing was not easy because these children will be like push from there, push, pull, push. So that's orthopedics. That's literally what they were doing. And then before it aligned, and when they push it a little, they have to use X-rays to check where it is so that they can continue the pushing. But it was very, and also they had to cut through. And when they cut through, blood like it was bleeding. They're not like, you guys didn't faint when on seeing blood because it's your first time. We thought you're going to faint when the surgeon opens up the place. But it wasn't really that scary, like seeing the blood. And then they had to tear the muscles and everything, and they even had to like use, I've forgotten what that is called. Is it diatemy? Yes, to burn off some arteries or some blood vessels so that bleeding will not be too much, and also use suction to remove the blood, so that, and also use what's that called, is this surgery towel or something to clean up so that they can see what they're doing in the bone. So that's basically how the surgery was, and it was actually very fascinating. And when they brought the bone together, they had to use like drills or something. Yes, I remember correctly. They had to use screws. Because it's orthopedics, they use screws, they use nuts, they use hammer, they use drills. So they had to also drill the bone so that where the screw can, just how you drill a wood, that's how they also had to drill it and put a screw across and just join oppose them together. Did I feel dizzy or faint? I felt dizzy. I at some point I was tired, and it was our first time in surgery. So the excitement, nobody wanted to go, wanted to stay to the end. And it was also the fact that we didn't know how the system runs. We didn't know if we were expected to leave before the surgery ends, because posting was expected to stay to the end, except we have tutorials or classes. But it was our second day and we didn't have anything. So we thought that okay, we had to stay to the end. So we actually stayed to the end of the surgery. And they were surprised. They were like, you guys actually stayed to the end of this surgery. You guys are strong. They were commending us. But I felt dizzy at some point. It just the excitement and the first time, like first experience, it just that kept me. What impressed me the most about the surgeons is the unity and the ambience that the chief surgeon created. We were very cooperative. When the surgeon just asked for something, the third assistant, because they had three surgeons, the chief surgeon and the assistant surgeon, and then there's another person that assists them to that hands over the instruments in it. So whenever she just says the drill, person hands it over. Whenever she says this, the assistant surgeon was the senior registrar. So whenever she says bring that, and they were just working together. One person wasn't doing A and the other person was doing B. They were in the same place at the same time. Did I struggle to maintain sterility? Yes, I actually struggled because if you want to go this way, they say, don't go there because there's a light they push this. So that light also has to be covered kind of way, like draped, so that they won't get bacteria or get infected. But they're like, please don't go close. If you want to move anywhere, they say don't go close to that side, that place is sterile. Even when the chief surgeon she started sweating away. So they asked me to help clean her face. So when I wanted to clean her face, they said don't make sure you don't touch her body, like make sure you don't touch the front part of her body, but you can touch the back or you can stay behind her or something. But as you're cleaning her face, don't touch her face marks, don't touch her. So it was really hard, but at least I knew that it was just to prevent infections and all of that. And it's okay. This question was the last question. So okay. The one I left, I didn't answer. What surprised me the most about the theater? What surprised me the most is that it's actually just like in the movies, like it's really no different. There's no stark difference of the real theater. There's no difference with it from the one we see in movies. I think during then I made a video of it during one of my vlogs. I think surgery posting as a 400 level. I don't know, but the video is in my channel. Like the video of the theater is actually like it's not so different. Even if there's a difference, it's just like maybe 10% difference. So that actually surprised me because I thought that when I come in, it would be so different from what we see in the movies, but that wasn't the case. So we've come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section and I'll be sure to reply you. So don't forget to subscribe and share. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye. I'll see you in my next story time.